in the Biden administration's, Arctic frost investigation that secretly targeted Republicans.
The latest Rasmussen Report's national telephone and online survey finds that 67% of U.S. likely voters consider Arctic frost to be a serious scandal, including 43% who say it's very serious. The survey of 1,173 U.S. likely voters was conducted November 2nd through the 4th by Rasmussen Reports. Bernie Bennett reporting.
More from Town Hall.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
The FBI currently operates a significant criminal justice information services complex in Clarksburg, West Virginia. The state's Governor Patrick Morrisey says he'd be more than happy to take in any other agencies the administration wants to relocate to the Mountain State.
We would welcome any of the Trump administration initiatives to move people, these agencies out to the heartlands. And certainly we already have thousands of FBI employees out in Clarksburg.
Economist Steve Moore told the Salem Radio Network this week he believes there should be a safety net for the needy, but says too many Americans are abusing assistance programs like SNAP.
What's wrong with our country? We're the richest country in the world, and we have 42 million people who need the government to put food on their table. And I was looking at data on the blue states versus the red states. Which states do you think that the food stamps are exploding in? The blue state.
Breaking news at townhall.com. The NCAA is revoking eligibility for 6 more college basketball players.
The NCAA has revoked the eligibility of 6 men's college basketball players for allegations of sports betting in 3 separate cases at New Orleans, Mississippi Valley State, and Arizona State. The NCAA Committee on Infractions released findings Friday from an investigation that concluded the players manipulated their performances to lose games, not cover betting lines, ensure certain prop bets were reached, or provided information that enabled others to do so during the 2024-25 regular season. Ron Taylor reporting.
ESPN's College Game Day broadcast live from Texas Tech ahead of its pivotal matchup against BYU in Lubbock, its first campus visit in nearly 20 years. Meanwhile, Ohio State's Big Ten road game at Purdue set to kick off at 1 p.m. Eastern Time this afternoon on the Big Ten Network. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Tune in to Big Top Sports
with Derek Geyer every weeknight from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
You'll have sports thoughts from the center ring of Chicagoland and to the outer rings from across the nation.
Whether from Chicago Cubs,
White Sox,
Bulls,
Bears,
Blackhawks,
Stars,
Fire,
Boomers, whatever the national story is of the day.
Geyer and his sports czar takes will either have you nodding in agreement,
yelling at the radio,
or in all honesty,
a bit of both.
With the way the Chicagoland sports and sports are in general, there's bound to be
thrills,
chills, and
oh my God moments. So get your snacks and libations ready,
because this is going to be a wild ride.
Big Top Sports with Derek Geyer's quirky and insightful Fanatics take
will make you feel a little
or a lot better about your Chicagoland sports viewing experiences.
Tune in to Big Top Sports with Derek Geyer every weeknight from 6 p.m.
to 8 p.m.
Welcome into AM 1410 WRMN's On the Rise. Myself, Mike Napolitano, alongside Dalton Cooper, and on the board, Nick Johnston. Here for another River Media Network Sports Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it.
Sports.
Oh my goodness. Well, before we get right into it, we want to remind you that you can always call in, text in, join the conversation with us because we have quite a Bears game to talk about and one on the way. Plus, so many hockey games. We've got the conclusion of the MLB season to go over. And are the Bulls real? It's a question.
They're not fake.
They're not Tiffany Gomez, that's for sure.
Still needs to be who?
You don't know who Tiffany Gomez is?
No.
That person is not real. The lady on the plane. Do you not remember this?
I didn't know what her name was. I know what you're referring to, though. Yeah.
By the way, studio line 847-931-1410.
The text line 505-926-1410. And then, of course, you could chat on YouTube with us. Join on in on the live tab for On the Rise. Make sure you're following us on all of our socials as well. We've got, of course, our WRMN socials on Instagram, Facebook, but we also have our On the Rise pages that would be on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. Just our personals as well, though, too.
And shout out to Mike's mom. Just because she's a great lady and helps with everything. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
She's a saint, man.
That's Halloween. Yeah. That's not On the Rise. I mean, maybe she's a fan. I don't know. I don't even actually know if my mom's following the On the Rise account. That's crazy. She probably just follows mine. It's okay. It's all right. It's fine. We'll get right into Bears here.
Oh, man.
Let's go over everything that I think led up to the last 2 minutes of that insane game, and let's talk about first how the fact that the Bears just give up a touchdown in the first 11 seconds of the game to a Bengals team that is missing Joe Burrow.
Charlie Jones, baby.
I understand Joe Flacco is still doing some crazy things at the ripe age of 38.
Yep.
38.
Sounds about right.
But my goodness, what are we doing special teams for Chicago? Because that was atrocious to start the game.
Yeah, not a good start there. Obviously, again, you're already banged up on the defensive side. You don't want to give up any more points than you already have to.
Yeah.
So for it to start off like that, it was one of those things where like, oh, all right, classic Bears. And again, it's also like, it's so hard now to get a kickoff return for a touchdown. It's just again, just like just chalk up to classic Bears. Like,
and Devin Hester's retired.
Yeah,
actually, I feel like it's gone up, hasn't it? Like the success rate has gone up.
The field position is better. Field position.
Okay.
It just hasn't been more. It hasn't resulted in more touchdowns,
more direct scores.
Yeah.
Okay, but Charlie Jones, man, he slept on. He was a monster at Purdue. I don't know if you remember him at Purdue or not.
I do not.
Purdue, if you will. But yeah, he was really good. People slept on him. But yeah, they had a couple missed kicks too. Can we get Jake Moody back?
Honestly.
For the love of God, I will start. I will go down to the stadium and start chanting for Jake Moody, especially with the weather turning into what it is. There's no way Santos is gonna.
Hell, I'm kind of jealous. The kicker we're gonna see on the opposite end, Younghoe Koo for the Giants this week. I kind of would love to have him. But,
the curse of the Atlanta kickers. Yeah, we can talk about that at some point too.
That was for the Giants. But the overall, I mean, obviously this game. I'll chalk it up to potential just game of the year so far. This was crazy on all assets. Should have had that pick for Tremaine Edmonds, or what they did should have had it returned,
right?
But called back due to it being down by contact. I don't know. I'll have to get my new spectacles on that one. And then just slowly but surely kind of down spiral. The onside kick again, one of those things where how often it does that. I'll chalk it up as very fluky. It kind of bounced off his foot. Went the right way for the Bengals that time, and just obviously the chaos that ensued after.
Fluky or not, though, like you let the Bengals back into this game.
Come on.
They had no right to be.
Why are you sleeping on the Bengals?
I'm not saying I'm sleeping on the Bengals.
Like the Bengals are are arguably one of the better teams that they've played this year.
Offense wise,
yeah. Okay. Yes. You still have Jamar Chase and you still have T. Higgins. But listen, without their number one quarterback and without a solid defense, and we saw the defense for the Bengals last year, at least if you're a fan of football, maybe not a Bears fan because they didn't match up against each other, but we saw that Joe Burrow and that Bengals offense put up record-shattering numbers and still missed the playoffs. That, to me and to everybody else analyzing football, told you that their defense was just that bad.
Did you see the score of this game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I absolutely.
Sure.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, if you're the Bears and you're putting up 47 points against the Bengals, who have a bad defense, don't give them 42 points.
Yeah.
And what we were talking about is those last 2 minutes of the game. you almost coughed up the entire contest in and of itself, because you let the onside kick was a little fluky, but onside kick recovery or not, don't let them walk right down the field.
Yeah.
In a crucial time of the game, just get a stop, which, of course, at the end of the game is now what the Bengals offense was saying, criticizing their own defense. I don't know if you saw any of that in the locker room.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's been like that
Zach
for
Taylor's
weeks.
lost the locker room.
Yeah.
It's been like that for a couple
Yeah.
weeks.
A little bit.
It's calling out your own teammates.
Since the Jets game. That was 2 weeks ago for them, right?
It's been a lot of Jamar Chase kind of biting his tongue, getting his opinion out still, but, kind of holding back. But at the end of that game, both T. Higgins and I forgot the defender that had to be separated in the locker room.
Yeah, well, Chase Brown was another Bengal. He was the one kind of like end the game, end the expletive game. But that's a couple weeks in a row that Jamar Chase has talked about, like, the defense is not playing. I think his favorite quote to say is "Ask Zach." That's his favorite thing to say. So, but he should be gone soon. Zach Taylor's gonna be gone. Oh, he's gone. Yeah. Man, how dumb do they look for getting rid of Lou Amarulo? God. Anyway, my heart was in Cincy, but finally the tight end showed up. We talked about it on this show last week. I was like, oh my God, are we ever going to get these guys involved? And by God, it finally happened.
Finally looked like a first-round pick.
Finally, Ryan Poles had to finally feel good about himself in a pick that he made. Finally.
Everything that we talked about last week came true. I think we're soothsayers here, because we were talking about how, don't let the Bengals into this game, because this is a game that it was a must-win.
It was.
And a can't lose.
No, it was a must-win.
So now they're different.
They are different. I've been telling you, you're the one that says
no, get out of here. Don't even gaslight me like that.
They are different. A must-win and a can't lose are two totally different things.
No.
Quickly on the Bengals side of things,
what you were saying.
Is it concerning that Joe Flacco is doing just as good, if not better, than Joe Burrow right now? Is it really maybe a testament to the offense and the offensive coordinator? Obviously, he's doing much better than Jake Browning. So is it maybe, like I said, something concerning to be like, 40-year-old Joe Flacco's putting up basically Joe Burrow numbers?
Concerning for the Bengals?
I mean, in the sense that, we're putting all this investment into Joe Burrow, and here comes Joe Flacco off the street, and here he is just putting up the same numbers, if not better.
I don't know if concerned is the right word.
Yeah, probably not.
I would say that's more of a testament to their ability to actually put skill players on the field, because there's a lot of teams that still can't put skill position players on the field. So I don't know if panic is the right word. They just can't figure out offensive line, which is half the league, if not more. I think that's always been their biggest issue. And they got a cheap owner. They never pay for defense. There's a lot of malarkey that goes on in Cincinnati, but I don't know if it's necessarily a concern.
Maybe concern would be a better word for maybe like San Fran, because you see Mac Jones and Brock Purdy putting up the same numbers essentially. Yeah, that's better fit there. So
I would almost argue that makes Zach Taylor harder to fire, wouldn't you say? Especially since he's an offensive head coach. There, if you play outside of Jake Browning, their offense, like you said, hasn't missed a beat. I mean, there's a couple games with him.
You see the qualities that he's not, the leader. He's not head coach quality, but still offensive coordinator. Good.
So he's Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
just give him a demotion.
Yeah. A little bit.
Fill somebody else into his role. But no, it's a good point. I mean, coming off of, like I said, Joe Burrow with those record-setting numbers last year, it's really hard to say, yes, Joe Flacco is, doing so much better. Yes, if you just put the microscope on and look at this year, and obviously, okay, Joe Burrow's hurt now, but when he was playing, it was a little bit of, who is the better guy, right? Now that the injury's there and Flacco steps in, but I don't know if it's as concerning. I think it was what Dalton was talking about, is it just shows that there's got to be a little bit of an aspect of the rest of that offense realizing, okay, our number one guy's not in. We got to step up a little bit. I'm sure they're excited to play for a veteran with super talent like Joe Flacco, but they're also in the back of their minds, they're like, Joe Burrow's not in. And, if we want to survive until maybe he comes back and have a hope at a playoff spot, we got to pick our game up. And that's where I think the frustration leading back into the comments that were made in the locker room is the offense has picked it up. The offense has kept up on that pace that you were talking about, and yet they're still not winning games, and it's because of stuff like this. Like I was saying earlier, that could have as easily have been, and I don't think the culture is such in the Bears locker room, that could have been the Bears locker room telling their defense, their offense telling their defense to get a stop and just end the game, because that was what needed to happen for the Bears. And the Bears, like you said, there's a little bit of luck involved, but there's a little bit of skill too with Caleb Williams finding finding Colston Loveland up the middle, bounces off the defender and has a clear cut to the end zone. And next thing you know, the Bears are back on top in this crazy, wild ending of a game. But yeah, if you're the Bengals, man,
that throw was sick, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that was true. I'm usually of the mindset that like, don't be a prima donna, don't call out your teammates like that in the locker room. I think in this situation, the Bengals that spoke out, Brown and Chase, I think they have every right to be upset with the rest of the team.
Especially the game that Higgins had.
And do you know why?
Oh, yeah, Higgins. Yeah.
Do you know it's the first time in Chicago Bear franchise history that they had allowed more than 40 points and still won a football game?
Wow.
First time in franchise history.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I mean,
I don't know if that's a great
I mean, you were talking, you just made the comment, like, could you imagine if the Bears were, if this was the other way around? It'd have been like the first time ever that a Chicago Bears fan could be like, wow, our defense let us down.
Yeah.
Because it's been a long time since you could look at the Bears and be like, wow, our defense stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because all of my life, it's always been the opposite. Like, wow, our offense stinks.
Yeah, it's the bread and butter. That's the go-to. That's our crutch.
We finally have a run game, Michael.
There is a run
Kyle
game.
Monungai.
There is a run game.
He is that guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he is that guy.
Angry Runs t-shirt this week. I'm going to have to get it.
I'm telling you, he reminds me of Isaiah Pacheco. The way he runs, like the run style. But no, 176 yards. It looks like 26 carries. Hopefully he plays this week. But yeah, I mean, he was different. The other good thing I really liked about this game, a lot of bad, obviously, but a lot of good. No turnovers. You know, we've protected the football. The Bears have done a good job protecting the football. And these kind of games, those are like the crucial turning points. Obviously, I think they had a block kick somewhere there, so I don't know if you want to chalk that up as a turnover. Obviously, a missed opportunity. But, yeah, you know, 30 first downs. We still had 7 penalties, so we still have to figure that out as a team. That still has been an issue. 8 of 15 on third down. We were 2 of 2 on fourth down. And, I mean, 4 of 6 in the red zone, which is a lot better than what they had been leading into these games. So that's honestly, if the Bears could score touchdowns instead of field goals, this team could be like, what, 7-1 or 6-2 at worst. So it's going to be interesting to see. The weather's finally starting to shift coming in this week. But, I mean, for the first time ever, like I said, it's nice to like turn the TV on Sunday, and it's like, oh my God, the Bears are scoring points
right
on offense.
Well, and we talked about the ability to score touchdowns last week because we were talking about that Ravens game. And if you score 2 touchdowns rather than 2 field goals in that first half, it's a very different scenario. So to see the Bears respond and put up 47 is huge. Yes, still, like I said at the start of this, winning ugly. I think I said that already, but that was what was on my mind. Winning ugly is definitely what you can consider.
This was bowling shoe ugly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bowling shoe ugly. I like that.
You definitely
like rental bowling shoe.
You definitely like to see the win streak continue or build a win streak here, and then of course have a solid win against a 2-7 Giants team. But as you said, the weather is going to be a factor.
It's on its way.
Gustly.
We've got not only we'll get into the injuries as well, and I think that's important because we were talking about who's going to be your run game, and DeAndre Swift is still questionable going into possible return date tomorrow.
Non-injury related, something personal. Like obviously, he's dealing with that groin injury as well. So he went from a full participant on Thursday to not practicing at all on Friday. So that's a little concerning.
Before we preview real quick, too, did you know right now the Caleb is on track to throw for 4,071 yards?
Yes,
finally.
I think he's like right around 240 yards a game, give or take. So we're going to put that on watch. We've got the back half of the season. We got 8 games to go.
Maybe that's why there wasn't as much of a run game.
They just want to 9 games to go, right? 17, this is 8. No, because they had their bye week.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, okay. Right, Forgive me. Go ahead.
Maybe that's why there wasn't as much of a run game. They just wanted to air out the cannon and get them to those numbers.
176 yards on the ground, and there's no run game. Right.
Caleb had one of his best games of his whole career, if I'm not mistaken. 280, threw 3, caught 1.
Yeah, he caught 2 passes, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he did.
That was his first touchdown.
It was the receiving one.
Yeah.
Well, first receiving touchdown.
Receiving touchdown.
Do you think Ben Johnson just walks around at practice, by the way, and just like subtly pays attention to who could throw the football? Like he'll throw a ball out of the way on purpose to have like a guy throw him ball and be like, "Wow, that's a really good spiral. I'm gonna drop a play for this guy."
I like that. Yeah,
I like that. You know what I mean? Like Zacharias is out there.
I mean, he called Darnell Wright this week a unicorn, and Wright responded with, "I don't have a horn." One of my favorites this week.
Like, think of the lowest wide receiver in the depth chart, but he throws the best ball, and there's going to be a reason why he's in the game.
And I obviously love that it worked, but how does the Philly special still work in the year of our Lord 2025?
You play man-to-man defense, man. People just sleep.
It's been 7 years. Like, how does no one pay attention to the quarterback?
He even said that in the postgame. Like, they're in the scheme, there's no one. They're playing a man-to-man but there was no one accounting for the quarterback. So he's like, he's like, we got the look. I called the play. It's a perfect play for that look, and you see the result. I was like, wow, yeah,
I'll take it.
He's a genius, mad scientist.
Just sitting there, I'm like, how? Like everyone, like these little kids in Madden that pick this play, and it didn't get stopped. I don't understand.
Boost those Madden ratings up.
Oh yeah, exactly right. Between the Ravens, the Ravens use them.
Yeah,
Ravens and the Jets use the Madden rating. So
I don't believe the Bears do, but I guess that's a good thing considering Chicago's track record. But as far as the rest of the injury lineup for tomorrow, it'll be Blackwell out with a concussion still, possibly returning November 16th. Excuse me, it is Durham Smythe that could be back as of tomorrow with a questionable calf
We're getting
injury.
Austin Booker back for sure. That's going to be great.
Austin Booker is back. That's about it as far as who could be returning for tomorrow. Ja'Day Walker still out till the 16th with that concussion. And then we're also looking at Dominique Robinson being out until November 16th. So still a couple
Edwards
injuries.
Also out.
Yeah. You know, they don't even have him listed on here.
So I also have Swift questionable, and then, like you said, Smythe is questionable as well. Everybody else, Burden, Byard, Jarrett, Roshan, Komet, Monangai, DJ Moore, Odunze, all good to go. Joe Thuney, he's just making a little rest. He's a little old guy. So
I was going to say, he gets that day off.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
As for the Giants, they've got 3 possibly returning for tomorrow. That would be Holland, Elamunior. Am I saying that right?
I believe so.
And then Johnson Jr. They've got 2 that will probably miss with Schmitz Jr. and Golston. So a couple injuries on their side of things. Looks to me mostly on the defensive side of things. They have 2 safeties out and a defensive end. Their center and an offensive tackle. I don't know if that's their starting center, though. So, I mean, this is going to be an interesting one. The Bears should win this one. It's at noon tomorrow on Fox, but it is here in Chicago at Soldier Field. And the weather for tomorrow, possible flurries. The snow is coming already.
Wind, everything's just going to be disgusting. Hopefully not. I see that high total. I shy away from it. I think the weather's going to have a huge influence. But in terms of just like what the Bears need to do, obviously go out there and win. They need to, if they're going to be playoff contenders or even wild cards, something like that. You need to win this game. You got to take care of the teams that are way beneath you. But it's going to start with honestly watching Jackson Dart. I feel like the Bears have not been good against mobile quarterbacks or at least athletic quarterbacks, and you saw that with Tyler Huntley. You saw that with Jaden Daniels when the Bears played the Commanders, when he was able to move around and get going. And as of right now, with Cam Scadaboo out for the Giants, Jackson Dart is the Giants' leading rusher. So you need you get a little chuckle out of it, but you need to be concerned about it because again they need to make way for it because he can break off. He's very speedy. And he can get like 40 or 50 yards by the time by all is said and done. So
a young Daniel Jones, some would say.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, again,
that's not what Giants fans want to hear.
These weapons aren't scary, but Wan'Dale Robinson can still get it done.
Yeah,
like let's
Theo
not
Johnson's been pretty good. They're tight end.
Yeah. So you got a couple. I mean, I think even Daniel Bellinger's coming back as well. Yeah. So yeah, nothing to write home about to mom. But these are still guys that can get it done.
I'm curious to watch the first quarter because these are 2 of the best point differential first quarter teams in the league. The Bears right now are plus 19. Yep, plus 19 in the first quarter, and the Giants are plus 17. Both teams are negative after that. So it's interesting to see who comes out with a better start. I think that's going to be a very tall telling sign of who's going to win this game. And then obviously, the bad weather might be a good thing the more I think about it because we did play the Commanders in that really crappy weather game. Yeah. And actually, the team looked pretty good.
And if that's the case, I would hopefully you give the edge to the better rushing team, which probably would be the Bears.
Yeah. And where's Jackson Dart from? I know he played at Ole Miss in college. Do we know where he was born? Because I know Caleb is from Pennsylvania, so like playing in bad weather shouldn't be.
I don't know, but
too far out of the realm.
I found out he went to the same college or high school. Or he went to the same high school as Jim McMahon.
Oh, Jackson Dart?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that's the only thing I would think is just, I mean, Jackson Dart doesn't have a lot of experience playing in bad weather outside of probably rain. He's probably never played in the snow too much, at least not in college. I don't know about you guys. I don't think it snows in Mississippi.
Actually, he might have some snow.
He's from Kaysville, Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, yeah, he's from Utah. So
is he a Mormon?
Maybe? I don't think so. I don't know. Well, regardless, though, these are two teams that should be used to playing in the snow. We, analysts have talked about it before about whether or not the Bears build a dome at Arlington. Of course, they're going to build a dome. If they build a new stadium, they're going to build a dome. But their whole talk and the conversation was, that's the Bears' advantage is they play well in wind and snow and all these crazy Chicago weather instances. But I regardless of the weather, I think you have to push the weather to the back of your mind. I think you just have to play your game. You have to be 6-3 after this week because, like Nick was kind of alluding to, you take the wins where you can get them because it's going to be a rough couple of weeks. You've got that revenge game against the Vikings coming up, and you have to have some kind of a second half against that team like you didn't in week 1. Then you have the Steelers, who are keeping pace with you right now. Steelers are always kind of a thorn in most teams' sides. And that's a huge game, too, for the Bears because you're looking at, a particular quarterback that you want to get a win against.
Yeah, that's going to be personal.
So that one will be taken to heart. Then it's the defending champs and the Eagles.
That's a Black Friday game. Yeah, that's going to be weird.
Yeah, that one is weird on Prime Video. And then it goes Packers.
I wish that game was here.
Yeah.
Yes, you have a game against the Browns snuck in there, so maybe you get one more win in there, but then that's the only game separating your two matchups with your rivals in the Green Bay Packers, followed by a 49ers team that's doing well this year, and then you close the season out with the Lions. So
one game at a time, Mike. We got to take it one game at a time.
Right, exactly. But if you're looking towards the back half of this schedule, get your wins where you can because nothing else is very much so guaranteed at this point. So.
It's going to be interesting, too. The Giants have the worst rush defense in the league, too. So I'm hoping that we can feast on that the way the Bears have done the last couple weeks. But then I don't know if you saw this chart that came out, the explosive play rates. No. The Bears are like one of the highest. They're second. They're right behind the Ravens in explosive play rate.
Okay.
But they are the worst on defense in giving up explosive play rates. So it was really funny. All the guys were talking about, it's the first time where you'll see the Bears in the bottom right-hand corner where it says good offense, bad defense. It's pretty funny.
A little bit of high risk, high reward there.
Yeah.
We had the trade deadline. Did you guys feel like the Bears should have made any moves, bigger moves, better moves? I feel like this was fine. I feel like there should have been maybe more depth pieces, but this was okay.
Yeah, I don't think the Bears are one piece away from
exactly.
No, I think they're maybe an offense, maybe a couple offensive linemen, maybe a couple linebackers, or maybe it's probably more defensive line than anything. But to your point, Quinn Williams did get dealt. He'd been pretty sick to have on the Bears for rush defense, but
and I'm just glad that they didn't make some kind of outrageous move trying to win now like sometimes we see they typically do. So like you said, they're not one piece away. I thought the Gardner Johnson pickup was good. So
yeah, he knows Dennis Allen's defense. He got plugged right in, so that's a good point. That's a good call.
If Breece Hall wasn't going for a third, I would probably have been a little bit more. But
he was gonna be my Mamma Mia this week. Yeah, he was gonna be my. Yeah, he's got to be so sad right now.
For sure.
Oh man,
everyone else got to escape New York.
Also, real quick before we go. The Commanders are getting a new stadium, right? ESPN is now putting on Twitter that Donald J. Trump wants to name the stadium after him. The president.
Okay.
Yeah. So, just like I said, it's a developing story. I just saw it on X.
Oh, boy. So. Well, we'll be back with some baseball news here. You're listening to On the Rise right here on AM 1410 WRMN.
Are you suffering with anxiety, depression, PTSD, an eating disorder, or even a substance abuse problem? If it's causing problems at work or with your family, get help now at Insight Mental Health and Wellness. We can help and treat all types of depression and mental issues. We'll help you use your insurance to get away from it all to a beautiful, sunny, and tranquil vacation-like environment so you can recharge yourself. And with a Family Medical Leave Act, you could take the time off you need from work. Plus, with the Affordable Care Act, your treatment could be 100% covered if you're suffering from any kind of anxiety, depression, PTSD, eating disorder, or even a substance abuse problem. Use your insurance and get away from it all. Come to sunny California. Call Insight Mental Health and Wellness now. 800-419-0287. 800-419-0287. 800-419-0287. That's 800-419-0287.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom. Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Looking for a seed buying experience that's more humanized? Ready to trade a company that's oversized for an independent brand that's right-sized? Searching for elite hybrids that have been optimized, tested in your geography, and localized? Did we run out of words that rhyme, so now we have to use metaphysicized? Maybe so. But if you answered yes to any of these questions, then it's probably time you get Wiffleized. Choose Wiffles hybrids this season, and let's get familiarized.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey Bears fans, want your business heard during every heart-pounding moment of the game? WRMN 1410 is now offering in-game ad spots for Chicago Bears broadcasts. Be a part of the action as thousands of die-hard listeners tune in each week. Whether it's a touchdown, turnover, or a timeout, your message will be right there in the mix. Spots are limited and going fast. Call WRMN 1410 today at 847-741-7700 and score big with in-game advertising that delivers results. Get in the game with the Chicago Bears on WRMN AM 1410.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Welcome back to AM 1410 WRMN. You're listening to On the Rise. Myself, Mike Napolitano, alongside Nick Johnston on the board and Dalton Cooper to my right. Part of your River Media Network Sports Saturday mornings. And we've got one of the best baseball games, one of the toughest outcomes, I think, for baseball fans in general, last Saturday. Game 7. Dodgers, Blue Jays, World Series, and boy, oh boy, the Blue Jays had it. They had it twice. Yes, twice. They started off that game with a 3-run shot, opening things up, commanding a lead against a very tough Dodgers team. And then in the 8th inning, you start to just give that up. And you can't give that up to the Dodgers. You go into extra innings, and next thing you know, it's Will Smith. No, not that Will Smith. Not the one getting up on stage smacking Chris Rock. Not the other Will Smith. Not the other Will Smith, because there's one in hockey, too.
There's also another Will Smith in MLB baseball.
That's right. There's Will Smith the pitcher and Will Smith the catcher.
Is this the 5th year in a row that Will Smith is
sixth?
Yeah,
Sixth year in a row that a Will Smith has won the World Series. And this time it was Will Smith himself hitting a solo home run. Yeah, I mean, that was what it was. Hitting a solo home run in the 11th inning to put the Dodgers on top and win the World Series. It wasn't a walk-off because, Blue Jays still had to finish things off. But you know what was funny, Dalton? I don't know if you remember back in September, there was a home run in the top of an inning, and then there was a double play in the bottom half of that extra inning in order to seal the deal for a championship, and that was the Kane County Cougars.
Here we go, this guy.
Kane County Cougars won the
They won the World Series.
They won the World Series.
Oh my God.
They won the Miles Wolf Cup final in almost the same way that the Dodgers won the World Series. Okay, we did speak to Claudio Final, and it was a little bit more.
Claudio, you'll never hit a bigger home run.
Yeah, it was a little bit more electric. That Claudio's was a grand slam.
Love to hear the Spanish call on that, by the way.
Honestly, but you only needed one if you were the Dodgers, and got the job done with a double play. And the Dodgers are your back-to-back World Series champions. We said it last year, boys. Was that the worst Dodgers team that we have yet to see that won a World Series? Are we in for a Dodgers?
You're taking my Thunder take?
Yeah.
Are you taking?
Well, we talked about that too.
My Thunder.
We talked about that too.
Stealing your thunder.
That was so good.
The worst iteration of the Dodgers was last year.
Was that? Are we destined to see a Dodgers? Well, of course, there is an impending work stoppage coming for the MLB.
Are you going to say the D word?
But will there be? I wasn't going to say the D word, but I should say the D word now.
They are a dynasty.
Is there? I think it's pretty.
When you're in the playoffs,
obvious.
like 19 out of the last 20 years, you're a dynasty.
Yeah,
I don't care what you do.
I think to solidify the capital D in dynasty, that maybe they got to win one more. But I mean, they have the 2 rings now, so
I got 3. The Mickey Mouse one.
The 3 in the shortened year against my Tampa Bay Rays. It's okay. I'm not crying a lot, but I mean. They may go back to back to back. If you can consider it that with what could be an impending work stoppage or could be a Mickey Mouse season.
Well, no, they're gonna get one more full season, and then your work stoppage is gonna happen. The stoppage is 27.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So all right. So 3-peat, and then does it count as a 4-peat if they come back? I mean, I know I'm looking years ahead here, but like this is what the Dodgers look like. They don't look like they're slowing down at all.
Could you imagine if the players went and played banana ball during a lockout? That would be sick.
That'd be wild.
No, but I don't know. They're set up
you
for
do
right?
Something.
Come on,
I mean, I don't want to jump too far ahead. I will say, as of like what we just saw, may have been the best World Series, at least in the past decade or so.
I would say since the Cardinals and Rangers. That was a good one. The whole David Freese thing. That was a good one.
I mean, there was just so many great individual performances.
Yeah.
You saw Trey Savage come out of nowhere.
Yes.
You saw a crazy, and I mean, record-breaking performance from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Then Ernie Clement comes out of nowhere and starts hitting the ball all over the place. George Springer bandaged up and put together with gum and duct tape, still able to get these clutch hits, and then Bo Bichette has that 3-run homer
on one leg.
Yes.
But on the flip side, Ohtani has the craziness that he is. You saw his performance in the NLDS Game 4. I'm still going to solidify that this is going to be the single greatest performance in baseball history in that game right there.
And how about the MVP?
Yoshinobu Yamamoto comes in. After
0 days of rest.
Yeah.
0 days of rest on a pitcher.
He was just in there like this. I'm in here on my day off.
I hope somebody cashed that ticket, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. We were sitting here on Saturday,
that was
like
plus
600.
Yeah, I was like, that's a good one.
Nick and I remember 2005, Mark Burley coming in on, wasn't 0 days of rest like in this case, but it was Mark Burley's off day.
Yeah.
Was maybe gassing a few libations in the dugout, and they said, hey, are you ready to go in the 15th inning, which was at the time, like the longest World Series game that people had seen in quite some time. And now this World Series had everything. You had an 18-inning game. So really you played eight games in this World Series. So it went the full 8, not the full 7. And then Yoshinobu Yamamoto, like I was talking about, just 0 days of rest coming in, like you said, on his off day, going, I guess I'll just
Freddie
go
Freeman
in.
gets another walk-off homer on the World Series.
You guys haven't even mentioned Miguel Vargas?
Miguel.
Yeah, Rojas.
Right? Rojas, sorry.
Miguel Vargas is White Sox.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm mixing teams here. But no, Miguel Rojas. I mean, he
hasn't hit a home run off a righty in 3 years.
Yeah.
And comes
and he made the play at second on the double play for Game 6, which... Again, I don't know why you're that far off the bag.
He said, I want to retire next year. But retire now.
Right.
You're not,
might as well.
You're not going to have a bigger year than... I'm sorry. You're not going to have a better year than now.
They also inserted Pages, and he makes that play at the warning track.
Yeah.
Why they're playing that shallow, I have no idea to begin with. But
only Andy's going to be the one that runs his own teammate over and make that play.
I don't know. Who's in left field for them? It's not Will Smith.
Was that Hernandez?
Yeah, it's Kike. It's Kike. Teoscar plays right field. But Kike, he was not going to make that play. You could tell he was like reaching back over his head. It was probably not going to happen. I mean,
what a play, though.
Dave Roberts pushed all the right buttons. I mean, he pushed literally the one singular button that needed to be pushed, and if he didn't do it in the order that he did it, they'd probably lose.
And the cherry on top, Clayton Kershaw gets to ride off into the sunset. World Series champ retires on top.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a nice little trinket. That was good.
I think we talked about it last week, but that play of the ball getting stuck, quote unquote, stuck underneath the fence. Dude, I mean, listen.
I mean, the play couldn't even recreate that.
Right.
He had to lift the mat and then shove the ball in.
Yeah.
Like he said that was like a 1 out of a million chance that was going to happen.
Right. So they're saying that ball wasn't actually stuck, and I'm led to believe that's the truth. I mean, they did a science experiment to basically to test it out.
Scienced it.
But like, if you are the player in that situation, which I forget who that outfielder was, but got subbed in.
Dean. Last name was Dean.
Yeah, subbed in right then and there by Dave Roberts. I mean, you couldn't have made it. Was almost like the Dwayne Wise substitution in that Mark Burley perfect game. Like, you couldn't have laid out the cards better. But the high baseball IQ to make that, I mean, it's a little devious because that ball probably wasn't stuck. But as a fielder, maybe you don't know, or maybe you're just looking to get that call. You put your hands up as an umpire. What else are you going to do? You have to make that ground rule double call.
The rules.
Like, yeah. I mean, just that'll still get talked about. Or how about the play at the plate? Oh my God, Blue Jays fans, my heart goes out to you.
Step in the secondary lead, he's safe. Like,
and why aren't you taking a secondary lead with bases loaded?
A left-handed hitter up.
They're not going to focus on you as the runner. The third baseman was playing so far off the bag. They're not making the throw over there. Take at least 2 more steps, and that's the difference in the ball game and the World Series.
Yeah.
Blue Jays fans, I'm so sorry. I really hope that the Blue Jays can continue this kind of dominance and maybe make it back there. But you know what? Like we were just talking about, they may have the same fate. They may have to play the Dodgers again. And, it'll be a revenge series, but can you top them then at that point? The Dodgers are only going to get better from here, is what I think.
I kind of feel as though Blue Jays' opportunity might not completely slipped away or that window closed, but it's going to be very, very troubling to get back in the same position to win the AL East against the Yankees. At any point, they could just pop off and probably just take over anything.
Aaron Judge.
They're already the favorite in the AL to win the World Series. Obviously, the Dodgers are number 1 overall, but to recreate this season again and to see that, just to confidently say, yes, the Blue Jays will be in the World Series again, I'm just not with you. It can't be that.
No.
You can't be that certain with them.
I just still think it's crazy. At the beginning of the season, we were talking about the Dodgers being the greatest team ever, and this is how they won the World Series. I don't know if you guys remember that. I remember having Combsy on here, and he's like, this is like one of the greatest teams, and all the stuff that he talks about. He's more of a seamhead, but like, everybody was kind of writing it off like the Dodgers were going to win the World Series. Why even play the regular season? And it turned out to be one of the greatest World Series we've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when it was, the day that pitchers and catchers reported. And, of course, all the memes start coming out of, White Sox eliminated from the playoffs. And the other one was Dodgers have won the World Series, just crown them the champions now, like kind of like what you were saying. And here we are. I mean, yes, I do see the reason why we play the season, because you get all the lore and the history that we got. The excitement, especially not just in the World Series, but in the playoffs in general and the regular season as well. But man, oh man, I mean, you could have pegged that one from day one like everybody else did, that the Dodgers were going to win it all. And honestly, I think we'll see those same memes this next year.
Oh, yeah.
Do the Dodgers three-peat? We'll see. But, I mean, it's theirs for the taking. It's theirs to lose.
Kansas City Royals?
I don't know about that.
I might take a flyer.
I don't know about
I'll take a flyer for them to make the World Series.
MVP? Who knows?
Did you see Bobby Witt was at a Dallas Stars game the other day?
Yeah, he was sitting
front row.
Sitting on the glass. Yeah.
The only thing, again, just like, I mean, you're kind of on that pace where, like, should the Dodgers be crowned? Like, the Blue Jays outperformed them in this series. They had more runs.
Oh, yeah. They hit better. They hit the Dodgers hit like 204. It's like one of the lowest batting averages for a World Series champion ever.
I mean, you can ask Mookie Betts. He said he was not in this performance at all.
He had a really bad World Series. I mean, he had a bad everything. But he did they ever figure out what was wrong with him? Because didn't he start was he sick to start the season, and he dropped like 25 pounds? They were not saying exactly what was wrong with him. It was some kind of illness or something.
That I did not see.
I'd be curious to see. Yeah, I just remember him at the beginning of the season. He started off not. That's why that's not why they moved him to the infield. But I know that was part of the story about him missing time and then moving to the infield. And I was just curious if I never read anything about what they determined his situation to be.
I didn't hear anything about that.
I just loved Glasnow and Snell in the locker room. That they were like, we were on Tampa Bay in 2020. If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh gosh, you're playing into the evil empire right there. So there was plenty of interesting clips to come out of the locker room, like you said, the Mookie Betts thing being, like you said, not really as much of a factor in this one, but there's so many pieces there that you could have a couple guys take some nights off and still get the job done, especially when Yoshinobu is not taking any nights off.
Do you think it's going to be really sick to see Kyle Tucker in a Dodgers uniform?
It's a great transition right there, and I don't know if that'll be the case.
You don't think?
Do you think he fits into that already star-studded lineup?
The Dodgers are the leading favorite to land him.
Are they? What I question though is, are they going to pay him that absorbent amount for him to maybe not play full time, because they have other options, right?
I mean, they do that with all their guys. I mean, every person on their team is like they're all superstars, but they're all selfless.
I'm not saying that.
I was looking up a Kike Hernandez quote because he had one of the best ones from this entire one. He goes, I showed up and brought a pencil and still got an A. Like,
nice.
Yes. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I'm sorry. So who was this again?
Kyle Tucker
in a Dodger uniform.
Play with the Dodgers.
Play with the Dodgers.
Don't get me wrong. They have the money to spend with the luxury tax and everything, and I think they will spend it. Dodgers have proven that they're the type of team to spend. Does it make sense to go out and get that big of a? I mean, I guess shrug your shoulders and go, why not, right? Like, if you're the Dodgers, like, you can just do that.
I mean, yeah, all the time. I don't know what the rumor is for him. Obviously
it was Dodgers, followed by the Giants and the Yankees. Those are the top three teams to land Kyle Tucker as it stands right now this morning.
Yeah. Okay. They're saying, if Bellinger leaves, the Yankees probably obviously jump in.
Yeah. 50-50 shot he goes to the Dodgers, according to MLB.com.
I think the best outcome for baseball is for him to go to the Giants, but at the same time, the best outcome for baseball, they're probably looking at it as if he goes to the Dodgers and makes more headlines, right? So, I mean, do you want an even playing field? I see what I did there. But do you want all these teams to be competitive, or do you want to build super teams like they were doing in the NBA for quite some time and just make headlines out of it? I think the MLB will win either way, but it just comes down to who actually wins, and it's going to be the Dodgers.
Kyle Schwarber back on the Cubs? Can I offer you? Can I interest you in Schwarber coming back?
I don't know about that.
Where's he going to go?
I think the rumor for Schwarber, it's like 5 years, 170, 180.
One of the favorite teams to land him is Cincinnati.
Yeah,
he's always talked about. He's from Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from like the Ohio region.
He would mash balls.
Could you imagine Great America Ballpark?
Yeah, it's just gonna be.
He'd be polluting the river.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna be BP for him.
Yeah, they'd have preservation groups like writing angry letters to Kyle Schwarber if that were the case, because he put in so many balls in the river.
What exactly was the qualifying offer? Was there a number to it?
For Kyle Tucker?
Yeah,
I believe it's. I think every qualifying offer is the same, is it not? I think it's like
22.025 million.
I was going to say 24, but
so the Cubs offered him a qualifying offer.
He has 10 days.
Also,
and Shota as well.
Also, it's Shota Imanaga, but I think Shota walks. We also saw, we were talking about this a little bit before the show. He's just, and you listen to it on a couple of the analyst shows that I was kind of catching up with over the week, and if you're the Cubs and you have that young rotation that's coming up and how badly Shota performed in the playoffs and late in the season, where does he factor into your starting rotation? And he's not coming out of the bullpen, I don't think. Like, I mean, you can't really slot him back there. Like, he's going to go somewhere and probably be a starting pitcher. I just don't.
Probably your third or fourth best pitcher.
Which is great for the regular season, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a bad thing.
But there are
your third best pitcher.
There are a couple names in the pipipeline that Cub fans want to see more, and I apologize because I don't. Let me take a look at what they've got
Brandon
right
Combs
now.
when you need him?
Right, but
if Imanaga could clean up just throwing balls right down the middle for home runs and basically giving up 2 home runs a game, I think he can, be exactly that, like a good third rotation, maybe a fourth guy. Someone gets hurt and has to be the number 2 or something like that. They could give you enough time for a couple weeks, but then again, like I said, you want those other arms. Again, getting Steele back is going to be better. I've heard the biggest stretch I've seen. Hopefully you're not breaking your back on this one, is people talking about Tariq Skubal getting traded over here to Chicago.
Maybe.
But then you're in that same boat
But you got
again.
to sign him for a big deal.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Do you sign him again for $40 million?
Yeah.
For the next 10 years, which, a team like basically the Yankees, the Dodgers, and probably the Giants would also be willing to do. I don't think the Tigers are going to be in that boat.
What about Dylan Cease? Dylan Cease could be
having the rumors cheaper, and he could be your number one for at least a little bit. Again, it's
just gonna be so funny because Cease was drafted by the Cubs just to get traded to the White Sox to all these years later, then come back to the Cubs. So if you're looking at the Cubs roster right now, you've got you kind of, if everybody stays healthy, you kind of have your starting five. You're gonna have Justin Steele coming back. You've got Matthew Boyd, Jameson Taillon, and I'm not saying these necessarily in order, but then you kind of have Colin Ray and Cade Horton's in the mix there. I mean, Javier Assad was filling in there too. I don't think he maybe stays in that. It's going to come down to, I don't know, maybe between Horton and Assad who stays in that starting rotation. But then also coming up in the prospect pool, you have Jackson Wiggins, who Cub fans are high on to actually make the team this year and be a starting pitcher. I don't know if you maybe throw him in the bullpen to start, or keep him in the minors to start as he develops and comes up. So I just don't see with the way Shota performed or lack thereof in the second half of the season and especially in the playoffs. That's what you're paying him for, right? You're a Cubs team that has playoff expectations, and when he chokes that heavily for you in the playoffs, you don't. I know it's a small sample size, but do you take another flyer out on this guy and go for it again with the same recipe? I don't think so. You couldn't get out of your own division in the playoffs. You couldn't get past the Brewers. So if you want to even compete with the Brewers, who were the best team in baseball, but then of course looking further than that, the Dodgers. I mean, I know that's an astronomical task right now, but I don't think that you're going to be able to do any of that if you keep what you have. I think you have to jumble things up a little bit, which is why you see maybe Kyle Tucker walking out the door, because you can't pay him all that money just for him to maybe disappear, even if it's a little finger injury. And I understand that could be upsetting and frustrating for not only Cub fans, but maybe Kyle Tucker himself. Maybe the criticisms aren't fair because of the injury, but I just, you got to change something here to stay in that window. Otherwise, you may wind up like the Blue Jays. You're going to be in a competitive division, and you're not going to be able to get out of it.
Yeah. I got the upcoming, bigger free agent names. I'll probably start with the starting position or the starting pitcher. Like you mentioned, Cease. But I'll just list off a couple what are worth the Cubs or even the White Sox going for. Let's Framer Valdez, Ranger Suarez. I see Nick Martinez. He's a little bit older. Chris Bassett, same deal. A little bit older. Had a good stint just now with the Blue Jays. Michael King, Imanaga, Zach Gallen. Mm-hmm.
I like the Michael King one.
Yeah.
Zach Gallen, too.
I'll throw in a couple more with
Brandon
Zach
Woodruff.
Little, Patrick Corbin, and for what it's worth, Verlander. Yeah. So,
Merrill Kelly too.
Yeah. Lucas Giolito's popping up again as well, but
I
again, I don't know. We'll see how long that goes for. And then a couple of former White Sox, Quintana, Aaron Savali, Adrian Hauser. So
Tyler Mahle.
Just trade him away, just get him back.
Yeah. So I mean, again, none of these jump out and are okay, guaranteed to be number one. But again, it's help. I'll take definitely a guy like Michael King.
What about Zach Eflin?
Yeah,
he was pretty good a couple of years ago for the Orioles.
And like I said, these are cheaper names, but still, again, have been there and have had their top seasons before. So it's definitely doable.
Chicago management likes cheaper names.
They love good value.
If they're listening, they're going, ooh, cheaper. All right, we could get something discounted. All right.
What's valuable? Winning a World Series. That's valuable.
Yeah, you know what makes you more money is if you have more playoff games that you could sell tickets for, and then win more things so you could sell more merch that says, I don't know, AL champs or NL champs or World Series champs.
How about Jason Kelce be saying, "Oh, baseball is boring. You just buy a World Series"? I
think
I'm hating this take.
Honestly, can we have a shared Mamma Mia for this? Because I was about to say that too. Because you brought up how I think it was his brother, Travis, on the podcast that was talking about how, everybody kind of knew it was the Dodgers, but this is why you play Yeah, I don't know if you were directly quoting that, but that was kind of along the lines of what he said. But Jason Kelce was just going, oh, well, you know, you just buy a World Series. He's just salty that his Phillies didn't get there, dude. Yeah. Respectfully, shut up, dude. Like,
okay.
162 game season and the most electric playoffs we've seen in some time, not to mention the most electric World Series we've seen in some time. And you're going to tell me all you do is buy baseball and it wasn't fun?
Bought a Super Bowl. You paid for Barkley and A.J. Brown? Is that not paying?
Look inward. Yeah. Listen, too, I don't want to say that this was
You're
David.
welcome on any time, Jason Kelce, by the way, to discuss this if you'd like to join us.
I don't want to say that this was David versus Goliath in the World Series either, because the Blue Jays are not David.
Even Schneider said that's not even the case.
Yeah. But one of the reporters, and I apologize, I forget who it was, maybe he was a little biased going for Toronto because I believe he was for TSN, but he said, like what we were saying earlier, the better team didn't win the World Series here. And so, okay, maybe a little salty and stuff like that. But when you have a scenario like that, that just shows you, if you read between the lines, how closely contested this World Series was and how exciting it was. Every turn, everything was, I mean, you know, after a while, you don't want controversial plays, right? But everything was like a discussion to be had. You had something to talk about the next day. And Jason Kelce's thing to talk about was how they shouldn't have even played the season. Are you kidding me?
I mean, after losing game 3, 18 innings, again, the Blue Jays could have just laid down and died, and they did not. So after that game, everyone said, 5 games, that's it, Dodgers win. Yeah. But no, they made it a whole series. It was fantastic.
They could have flew south for the winner. They chose not to. Yeah, that's admirable.
They were dodging the migration, is what you were saying?
Okay. Yeah, they're trying way too hard now at this point.
That was a stretch. We love you, Jason Kelce. Not really, though.
That's okay. By the way, I did not see any of this. So, Jason Kelce, I know you're a big listener, and I know you follow WRMN religiously.
Well, you also gotta watch what you say, because then he'll slam your phone on the ground if you get in his face. That's right.
That happened at the tailgate, right? Yeah. Was that in Buffalo?
He'll slam your phone on the ground and then take it.
Classic Philly.
I think
classic Philly, right?
Was that in Philadelphia?
Yeah. I'm not on the guy's side that did it to him either.
Right.
You know, it's just like on both sides, act like an adult.
Yeah. Butt hurt and
I mean, he can afford to buy the man a new phone.
Yeah, that's true.
That's insane.
All that podcast money.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have some hockey to get to right now, so we're going to be switching gears here and heading to the ice. It'll be myself, Dalton Cooper, and Nick Johnston right here on AM 1410's On the Rise. You're listening to WRMN, the talk of the town, right here as a part of our River Media Network Sports Saturdays.
The Blackhawks won last night.
They did. You want to take back that Macklin Celebrini over Bedard comment?
No, not yet.
I'm going to fight you on it.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Chicagoland? Need trusted legal help with real estate, evictions, or estate planning? Turn to Guthrie & Brady, the happy lawyers serving the greater Chicago area since 1965. With over 50 years of experience, they handle titles and deeds, foreclosures, landlord-tenant issues, wills, trusts, and more. Appointments available evenings or weekends at their Roselle office or right in your home. Call Guthrie & Brady now at 847-524-1215. That's 847-524-1215. Or visit gnblegal.com. Guthrie & Brady, personal, professional, affordable legal services for all of Chicagoland. The happy lawyers since 1965. That's gnblegal.com. Or 847-524-1215. Guthrie & Brady, trusted legal help made easy, fast, affordable, and experienced. Call today.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410. Elgin time, 11 o'clock.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew with Washington. Jewish reaction to the election of New York's first Muslim mayor was strong and swift.
Mamdani's main rival, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, received roughly 60% of the Jewish vote, according to the AP voter poll. Throughout his campaign, Mamdani was steadfast in his criticism of Israel's military conduct in Gaza, depicting it as a genocide targeting Palestinians. But he denounced the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack on Israel and denied suggestions that he is insufficiently opposed to anti-Semitism.
That is Walter Ratcliffe reporting. The Supreme Court has granted the Trump administration's emergency appeal to temporarily block a court order to fully fund SNAP food aid payments amid the government shutdown.
A judge had given the Trump administration until Friday to make the payments through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. But the administration asked an appeals court to suspend any court orders requiring it to spend more money than is available in a contingency fund. After the appeals court declined to immediately intervene, the High Court issued an order.
Correspondent Ken Lorman says the Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson issued the order late Friday, pausing the requirement to distribute full SNAP payments. Public policy expert Matt Continetti says GOP needs to articulate their cost of living agenda more effectively. There was a beach baby shark meeting a good Samaritan in Oregon.
Colleen Dunn was walking her dogs along a beach in Manzanita, Oregon.
There is a baby shark.
It was a small salmon shark, which was suffocating in the low tide area near the shoreline. At first, Dunn thought it was a baby great white. With her dogs waiting patiently, she grabbed the 3-foot shark by the tail. Dunn rushed it to deeper water. She was capturing it all on video. The shark was able to push water through its gills once again and then swam out of view. I'm Ed Donahue.
More from Town Hall.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher, host of The Mike Gallagher Show. I don't mess around when it comes to saving you money. Right now, rates have dropped to the lowest level in over a year and a half. That means if you bought your home or refinanced in the last 3 years, you could be saving hundreds of dollars every month. Lower your rate, lower your monthly payment, even kick that pesky PMI to the curb. And get this, you can skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. But that's not all. Fellowship Home Loans just rolled out something incredible. Their very own HELOC and lines of credit. Approval in just 5 minutes. Money in your account in as little as 4 days. It's the easiest system you've ever used. You can do it yourself online. Whether you want to pay off bills, tackle a home project, cover education, or even a wedding, Fellowship Home Loans makes it simple to leverage the money that's already sitting in your house. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending guided by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
California's Republican Party has filed a lawsuit challenging the state's Proposition 50 ballot initiative to rewrite congressional maps. Heritage Foundation senior fellow Hans von Spasskovsky believes the measure is, in fact, unconstitutional.
To the extent California has used race as their primary factor for drawing up these new boundary lines that are designed to get rid of Republicans, yeah, that's a violation of the 14th Amendment.
Florida's Attorney General filing a lawsuit against Planned Parenthood.
James Uthmeyer filed the suit claiming the abortion organization is misrepresenting the safety of abortion pills. It's the latest legal challenge aimed at abortion pills, which are the most common way to end a pregnancy in the U.S. Pro-life groups have increasingly targeted the pills in the wake of the U.S. Supreme Court's 2022 decision overturning Roe v. Wade. Keith Peters, Washington.
Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Switzerland is looking for a shout-out from the UN Cultural Agency, UNESCO, to include the tradition of yodeling on its list of intangible cultural heritage. Here's correspondent Ed Donahue.
The Swiss feel the yodel is the popular form of singing.
We change between head voice. This is we do it most time with the vowel oo in combination.
Teacher Nadia Ras says yodeling is distinctive because of its vocal technique.
We do it with the vowel o. Very typical is when we change between these two.
The UN classification is meant to raise public awareness of yodeling.
I think really we have 5 languages. We have the 5th, the yodel.
Ras says one of her life goals is when she dies, every school child in Switzerland will be in contact with yodeling during their primary school time. I'm Ed Donahue.
More from townhall.com.
Systems run everything. Government, economy, media, justice. They shape your choices, your opportunities, your future. But do they work for you or against you? On Apolitical Talk Show, we break them down, not to destroy, but to understand. Because if you don't see how the system works, you won't see when it's being manipulated or who's benefiting from it. Power belongs to those who know the rules, challenge the loopholes, and demand accountability. That starts with knowledge. That starts here. Join us weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. as we uncover what's really happening behind the headlines so you can decide for yourself what's fair, what's broken, and what needs to change. A political talk show breaking down the systems to build them up together. Right here, weekdays 4 to 6 on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Welcome back to AM 1410 WRMN at the 11 o'clock hour here from Studio 14. Be sure to join into the conversation on the YouTube chats. We've got Brendan in the chat. How's it going? We've also got the studio call-in line. If you have a hot take or a lukewarm take, we'll take any of them. Feel free to call on in, join the conversation. That's 847-931-1410. Or you could use the text line. We have a text line as well, 505-926-1410. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials on the rise on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And then, of course, WRMN's main page on both Instagram and Facebook as well. Gentlemen, the Blackhawks are still in a rebuild.
Are they?
But Connor Bedard and Frank Nazar, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. They said they don't want to win in 3 years. They want to win now. And that is exactly what they've, for the most part, been doing. A little bit of up and down, but they're sitting in that second wild card spot as we get into November. And we were talking about it last week, Dalton. The American Thanksgiving holiday is kind of a benchmark for, where you're at as a team in the National Hockey League. And I'm not saying that this is a playoff team, but I did say that I think this is finally the year that the Blackhawks are going to flirt with that bubble spot, maybe push for a wild card spot. I don't think they're going to get it by the end of the season because there are a couple teams below them that I think are going to find their way into a playoff spot first. But man, oh man, the league is kind of on its head right now. The Anaheim Ducks are leading the Pacific Division.
Yeah, they're nice right now. I watched them.
Is that the Joel Quenneville effect?
I watched them play Dallas the other night. That team, they are frisky. They're built very well, too. They've got a nice complement of veterans with Chris Kreider and the Anaheim Rangers, if you will, because I got Trouba as well.
Yeah.
But no, I just think they're a good team right now. I think they are here to stay. Dostal. He's their goalie. He's a benchmark just like Spencer Knight is. So they've got a lot of good things building in Anaheim.
Nick's right. It's the Flying V. That's what's going on over there.
Shrieking 5 in a row.
So they're holding the top spot in the Pacific. Vegas and Seattle are right behind them. Points-wise, it's 19 points for Anaheim, 17 for Vegas.
Yeah, the butt Kraken.
16 for the Kraken. But let's take a look at that Central Division because that is hot as well. That's where the Blackhawks are, of course. I don't think it's anybody's surprise that Colorado is leading that division, 21 points. They are on fire.
They've lost once in regulation.
Yeah.
Do you know who beat them, by the way? Pop quiz. Anybody want to take a guess and tell me who is the one team to defeat the Colorado Avalanche in regulation this year?
They're 8-1-5 in the 14 games they've played. One team that has beaten them in regulation.
Nope. Oh, it's a good guess, though.
I feel like you're posing this question because it's going to be a team that's not good.
That is correct. Okay. It is somebody unexpected. Nick was on the right track.
Really?
Yeah. This is great radio.
Like another Florida team? Are we talking?
No. Just pick one. You're thinking this way too hard now.
Ottawa?
Nope. Happy Gilmore's favorite team, the Boston Bruins. Yeah, only team to beat Colorado this year.
Well,
in regulation.
Boston's not bad. If we're going to shift over to the East in a little bit, but they're 9-7-0.
Going over.
Yeah, you're in the right division at least.
Yeah, that's true. Boston's doing
hockey
better
guy.
than I think people expected, but that
Certified
could
hockey guy.
but that could be a team that we see falls off.
Yeah, puckhead.
Yeah.
As far as the West, though, Blackhawks sitting at 7-5-3 with 17 points after a decent week.
Back-to-back wins.
And back-to-back wins, including Connor Bedard, 4 points last night.
Yep.
That fourth point that he got to strip the defender and walk in from the blue line all alone, put the goaltender in the parking lot, and Dustin Wolf there was no way he was getting that one.
No,
and Bedard just slides that in. Yeah, absolutely disgusting is the language that I would use.
Yeah, I was going to say Bertuzzi's been good call, Frankie. I was going to say Bertuzzi had a hat trick in the third period against Vancouver earlier this week that propelled them.
And the thing that I was thinking about with that Bertuzzi hat trick was that was exactly 2 years ago what you signed Bertuzzi for, or 2 seasons ago now, is what you signed Bertuzzi for. Everybody was talking about his net front presence and how he gets the gritty, dirty, garbage goals in front of the net. The Blackhawks couldn't get him on the score sheet as much last year as they would have liked to because they couldn't crash the net. They couldn't get offensive zone time. So when Bertuzzi's stuck in his own zone or the Blackhawks don't have a push towards the opposing net, how is Bertuzzi supposed to get his points? When he plays on that line with Connor Bedard or he just plays, in front of the net and he's on that back door, that's how at least 2 of those goals went in. The third one, he had to manufacture a little bit himself off that rebound.
Yeah.
But Bertuzzi, but still net front presence. And Bertuzzi finds his, I believe, 4th career hat trick, first with the Blackhawks. So, I mean, this team is looking up. And as Frank Oliveri adds in there, he says, life is good. Life is good.
That's a boy Frankie over on.
And what I like about life being good is this is technically still supposed to be a rebuild. So that means there's the potential for life to be great.
Yeah.
Coming down the line. Oliver Moore comes up and makes his NHL debut. He looked confident in his NHL debut.
He was -2. He was
-2, but when you saw him skating out there, it seemed a little natural to him. He got stuck out there for a couple. But the Blackhawks get two much needed wins. Last night, of course, against Calgary, but then earlier in the week
they beat Vancouver
against Vancouver, and that was that hat trick game.
They kind of had a stinker against Seattle, though. That was Oliver Moore's debut. They kind of, I don't know if it was just the late night or what it was, but
they never play Seattle well.
And actually, Soderblom was in net too, and he didn't play bad. He was 21 of 24, which is respectable. I mean, 875 is obviously never a good thing, but I mean, so far this week, and then they last Saturday we were talking about this is an important stretch for them, and they did get an overtime point against the Oilers. Yes. They took the Oilers all the way to overtime in Edmonton. So, I mean, you're seeing a lot of growth. You're seeing, because I think, at least I'm speaking for me, I don't know how you feel. Like the expectation going into games, I don't expect a lot. So the fact that they are battling, remaining in games, getting pity points, that's a step in the right direction.
We talked about this road trip that had already started as of last Saturday when we were on the microphones, because that was that Winnipeg loss 6-3. So they were already 1 game into the road trip, but we were saying, can they split the road trip, at least points-wise? You were talking, I think, straight up wins and losses. I think I was thinking more like, can you sneak in a couple points there? And you said it. They did it against Edmonton, getting an overtime loss. But, I mean, you take a Western Conference defending Edmonton Oilers. Now, I know they're off to a slower start this year, but that's still Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the other side of things.
That's one of their best starts in years, actually.
For the Oilers, it is?
They were really bad. They were like
I do remember. So 2 years ago, I remember that astronomically horrible start that ended up getting their head coach fired. That was Jay Woodcroft, and now they have
what's his name?
It's another play on wood.
Yeah.
Play on word.
Go ahead. Continue.
But so last year, I guess wasn't a great start either, but you just kind of knew Edmonton was going to turn it on. After playing a lot of hockey in the last 2 years, I don't get that feeling with Edmonton. Yes, it's still Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, like I said, and they'll still make the playoffs, and they're not sitting in a playoff spot right now, which is why
Chris Knobloch.
Yes, that's who it is. Yeah.
There it is.
Get Knob and Wood. Anyways, so
nice.
Edmonton. I don't believe has. I wasn't the first to make the joke.
We need a button on the board so bad.
You what? Yeah, honestly. What was that?
Anyway.
But I mean, you're looking at Edmonton being a team that's played a lot of hockey in the last 2 years, and they're sitting outside of a playoff spot right now. The Blackhawks are on that last wild card spot. I think this is a little bit of that shift I was talking about, where a team below the Blackhawks could sneak back up and push the Blackhawks back out of a playoff spot. Of course, it's still early November. It's still way early. But going back to my initial point, you sneak a point from Edmonton. You have a rough game, like Dalton was saying, against Seattle, but then you get a much-needed 5-2 victory on the heels of that Bertuzzi hat trick, and then a 4-0 win against Calgary. Look at the difference in both of those games. A 3-goal difference in the Vancouver game, that's that hat trick right there, and a 4-goal difference and a shutout against Calgary on the road, and Bedard has 4 points. The stars are shining bright with this Chicago team. I was going to say in Chicago, but this is on the road trip, because now look at this 5-game road trip. It's going to be 6 against Detroit on Sunday. But you've got 5 points in the 5 games that you've played.
Yeah.
I'd say you've won this road trip. I think you got out of it what you needed to. It's going to be, like you said, a tough stretch. Detroit's going to play you tough, and then you're going to come home and play a very talented Devils team, followed by a Toronto team that's hungry to get back to being the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we'll see if they can choke. But
they're fine.
Any team in the East that you play right now is going to be over 500.
Yeah, I mean, the East is just crazy right now, like you were mentioning, turning on its head. But no, as far as the Blackhawks, I mean, like I said, Sunday is going to be the end of the road trip. Then I think they get 4 or 5 home games in a row, like you were mentioning. So it's
they were on the road for 5, back home for like 4 or 5, and then on the road again for like 4.
Yeah, I mean, their schedule's as streaky as they are because they've been winning 3 or 4, and then they'll drop 3 in a row. But no, we'll see. I think that's, again, the growth is coming along. That's what it's kind of the expectation for this is funny. I think the expectation for the Blackhawks, I think, is very similar to the expectation we should have for the Bears. Like we just want to see certain things going in the right direction, whether it's the run game, whether it's the growth of a superstar, whether it's just the overall vibes and just the direction of the team. So Spencer Knight is kind of, in my opinion, right now is the MVP. I know Bedard's been playing well. I think he's got 10 more points than the next closest person on the team. I think he's got 22 points, which I think is tied for the league, by the way. So I'm
pretty sure he has the league
scoring, or is he leading the league in goals?
In points.
Okay.
Total points. Yeah, goals is somebody else. I don't even know who goals is, but overall points. I'm pretty sure Bedard is tied, or is he by himself? Do we have that
on the broadcast? I just couldn't remember.
Actually, with a
my God,
wait a
minute, wait, who's leading the league in points, Mike? who is that? I can't see that from all the way over here.
It's Macklin Celebrini.
Oh my God, Macklin Celebrini.
Well,
wow.
Okay, that had to have been a late game last night.
Yeah, they played Winnipeg. The Sharks did,
and because Bedard after those 4 points was clean in the lead.
Do you remember what he said going to break?
I'm still taking Bedard. I'm still taking Bedard. I'm still taking
play nice, or I'm turning this radio show around.
I'm still taking Bedard. As far as goals go, I don't think Bedard is anywhere close to the top because I think the majority of his points are coming from goals.
Assists.
Assists.
But either way, I was talking about this a couple weeks ago. You can see the difference in his defense. That goal he had last night was created from his defense. Like they're starting to do those little things that really winning, sustaining teams do, and that's just a good sign. It looks like Blashill has got a lot of the the fundamentals into this team. They dump well, they chase well, they forecheck well. There's not a lot of times where you don't see constant pressure on the puck from this team, which I really like. I like the effort. That's a great thing. I think that speaks volumes, again, of what Blashill is doing. And as long as Spencer Knight's playing like this, this is the one outside of basketball. This is like one of those sports where you can have one guy take a game over. And Spencer Knight is being that guy right now. I mean, can we talk Vezina about Spencer Knight? I mean, if the Blackhawks are in the playoffs,
that's early.
He has to be a consideration, though. Right?
Yeah, I would agree. Maybe an honorable mention. I don't know if he's the top 3 in the league right now.
I don't know.
But yeah, listen, I know I ripped into him a little bit last week because we were talking about that tough start in Winnipeg and he gave up the 6 goals, but he's responded well, which is, I wasn't saying I was out on Spencer Knight by any means.
Cutter Gauthier, by the way, leads the league in goals.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah. But what I was saying is,
Gauthier. You're somebody I used to play hockey with.
Cutter Gauthier. I would say for Spencer Knight, it may have been a little early for me to criticize that harshly just on the one game, but I wasn't saying I was out on him. But I also think it's a little early to be saying any kind of Vezina trophy winning. So right in the middle, comfortably in the middle, maybe a little bit more to the good because of the fact that he is doing what he's doing in front of a young Blackhawks defense. But you're right. He is leading the league in, I believe it's goals save above expected. Yeah. Was that what you had just read off?
I did see that stat. No, I remember seeing that stat earlier this week. But I mean, right now, 11 games, he's 6-3-2. He is at a 2.33 goals against and a 9.26 save percentage. I mean, that's
huge.
That's nice. Yeah. I mean, I think he had 43 saves against Vancouver. It was something along those lines.
Yeah, 43 of 45.
Yeah, like just insane.
Yes.
Like all they did was pepper him all night, and he just stood there on his head and took the game over.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a couple really bad turnovers in that game defensively. I can remember one specifically that was like a drop pass into their own slot with nobody there, and I was like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah.
And
hey, Spencer, help us out.
Spencer stood tall. So it's nighttime here in Chicago, I guess. Speaking of nighttime, we'll see the Blackhawks have a matinee game, which is not nighttime, against those pesky Detroit Red Wings on Sunday, but then it'll be back at the United Center for a manatee game. It'll be back at the United Center on Wednesday for a prime time game. That one's televised. It's got to be nationally because this is an 8:30 p.m. puck drop in Chicago. Yeah, TNT, True TV, and HBO Max.
Thank God.
The 12th against New Jersey.
Because Mamma Mia. I have another Mamma Mia for you, and I'll save it for my last bit, but go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, that was all other than a 6 p.m. game against Toronto at home next Saturday, but we'll be on the mics already for that.
Did you want to talk a little AHL real quick?
I was going to because speaking of nighttime, tonight you will be
Nightingale, baby.
Yeah, Jared Nightingale.
That's where you were going, honestly.
I was going with tonight. You are going to be in attendance at Rockford for another Ice Hogs matchup. You saw a couple Wolves matchups now.
Yeah, I went last Saturday too. We saw they played a doubleheader. We shout out to Chase, by the way, our guy Chase, photographer for the station now. He was both games. I went Saturday. We checked out. They played the Marlies. Peter Kachekov was back in net.
Sent back down.
Real good. Yeah, he's amazing. The fact that he was even there was very apparent that he should not be. He made probably 5 saves that were like, oh my God! Like
has he been sent back up since? Or
he played on Wednesday, I think, for the Hurricanes.
I was going to say, but I don't know what is going on in Carolina. It's been a couple years since I've religiously covered them, so really all we get
they're good. Don't worry.
Is Wolves. Yeah. But I mean, what else is going on that Kachekov's got to get sent down?
Well, they've been dealing with some injuries,
right?
And with the goaltenders in Carolina, but now the Wolves are looking okay. They're 4-4. They're 4-4-1 right now with an overtime loss. It's 4th in the Central. The Central's tough. There's also a game discrepancy. So some of the leaders in the Central have obviously more games. The Wolves have played 9 games, but. I mean, honestly,
I've played 11 games.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I've seen with the Wolves is like the key to their game is their forecheck. Like they're not the fastest team, but they do well. Again, just like Carolina, they do well in a very systematic way. Like there is a system to the way they play. You can see it, and their puck pressure is the key because their offense looks the best when they're turning pucks over either in the neutral zone or even forechecking the defenseman of the other team, and that's where a lot of their points come from. A lot of their production comes from. So. It's going to be interesting to see. It's still early, and I guess the movement of the AHL players going up and down is going to be very indicative. But their goaltender situation outside of Kachekov has not been the most consistent either. So I think that's going to be interesting as well.
I thought they might have just scored because I heard that train horn going forever. What is it with the train horns today? I don't think our listeners can hear it, but
Probably
not.
No,
louder than normal. Am I wrong? And like longer than normal?
Sounds like it's going through the living room over here.
Yeah, honestly, the front room.
Yeah,
there we go. Nice.
But yes, I mean we're going to be on Wolves and Ice Hogs all year long. I know there's that rivalry there, but it's fun to be able to cover both sides of things for the Chicagoans who are diehard to Chicago teams like the Wolves.
Pavelchev, by the way.
Pavelchev, yeah,
beast.
Nice.
Is
beast.
he?
Yeah, I think he had 3 points last Saturday when I was there. I think they lost 4-1 on Sunday. Or 3-1 on Sundays, but I still think he was involved in their 1 point and their 1 goal. But yeah, he's very noticeable on the ice. He's a very good player.
I wish I was going tonight too, because for the Wolves night, it's AEW. It's an AEW wrestling night. So
yes, AEW. Yeah.
All Elite Wrestling.
I did see that
in the building. Ricochet. So hopefully people can get early. Maybe do the meet and greet. Seems cool.
Yeah.
I'm a big wrestling guy. AEW's been my bread and butter. So
they had a first responders night last Saturday, which was nice. Yeah, they did like the hand on the truck. Great atmosphere, by the way. If you haven't been to a game,
I was there for the home opener. They'd still the same. Like you still get that same feeling of like, dude. Does anybody else does any other AHL have the same like?
No, they by far have the biggest.
Like the opener. It doesn't seem like it.
Well, I don't.
Even Dana Gray was joking about when we were
I don't see anybody else bringing out that giant
the pyro,
the fire.
Yeah, because when we sat as press for the Rockford Ice Hogs home opener, he's like, you won't feel the heat like you do in Chicago. You'll be all right. And I was like, yeah, that's true. So.
And I was talking that with Linnea, like the ice that it gets so watery in that spot. Like the away team has to get so mad because it's got to make the ice so bad on that side.
Yeah.
So
that's for sure.
No, I
think that's why that's why the Wolves play on the sides that they play on.
I bet.
It's probably an advantage.
100%. 100%. There's no way. But also, do you think that with the pyro stuff. Do you think that they took a page out of WWE's
think the
book?
fireworks actually come out of Skates' hands?
Yeah,
no.
I have a great picture of that. I think they do, though. I think they do.
He does hold. Yeah. Well, he holds. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to give out
any of the secrets. But no,
sorry, Skates.
I do enjoy the arena. It's really nice too because they set us up in the second deck, right? And there's not a lot of people that sit in the second bowl at Allstate. That's where all the diehards sit, by the way. If you go to a Wolves game,
has his tickets.
That's where the diehards sit. But no, it's a great view. It's a nice arena. It's just a different vibe than Rockford, which I really appreciate, just the different vibes. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, gotta love going to Allstate too.
When they do sell out and get jammed, that jammed up, that it is good. But I do like.
I would love to go there for a playoff game.
Yeah,
that would
I love sitting up there for exactly that because it's a little more open. Not a lot of people up there up top, and then you can go from one end to the other if you want to just watch the Wolves score on one.
Yeah,
one end. So I like doing that.
The concession stands aren't always open in the top, which is kind of a pain. But they do have a nice pregame spread. I don't know if you knew that or not. Yeah, a nice pregame spread for the Wolves. But yeah, it's interesting.
You mean media wise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. They've had a chicken cordon bleu last Saturday.
We didn't get fed at Rockford. No knock to our Rockford people, but I'm Italian. You gotta feed me.
Mamma mia.
Where's the media spread there?
But Rockford is taking Rockford is taking on Milwaukee tonight. They did beat Milwaukee last night, I believe. They're
right behind them in the standings.
Yeah, they're second. Rockford is second.
Rockford's second.
Second to Central. Yeah,
Milwaukee's third.
Yeah, they are. But they've played 11 games. Rockford has played a lot of games, and we've talked about this off air. And you brought this up after the first game of the season. But Rockford's got to figure out their power play.
Yes,
they have to. If they could figure out that power play, I think they may be unstoppable.
And it's going to be tough because, we just saw Oliver Moore get called up. You're probably going to see a couple more call-ups for the Blackhawks throughout the year of some of your top offensive guys. I think that Blackhawks defense is going to sit where it is. I'm trying to think if there's any defensemen that are sitting right down there in Rockford. I mean, Levshunov, maybe? No.
Korchinski's probably the only one I could think of.
Korchinski, is about it. So,
or what's the other one? He just scored. Del Mastro.
Ethan Del Mastro, yeah. So, I mean, maybe you see a couple defensive moves, but those are defensive moves that are also going to affect your power play because those would be your defensemen on your power play most likely. So it's going to be a struggle in that aspect for Rockford, but them sitting in second right now and looking to have another playoff run. You mentioned watching playoff games at the Allstate Arena. I missed the playoff game at the Allstate Arena last year. It was Rockford and Chicago, but I saw the ones Did I see I might have been there. I forgot.
Oh.
But I did see the playoff games at the BMO Harris Center, and it was electric.
We have to give a shout out to Nick Lardis, too, by the way, AHL Rookie of the Month.
Yes.
Before we forget.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to him. He's been great. I think he's 12 points in 11 games. Forgive me. I don't know if that's correct. I'll look, but you go ahead.
I think you see a call-up of Nick Lardis by the end of the year to the NHL. And I know that seems early, maybe, for some, but I think depending on where the Blackhawks sit, I know they're going to be pushing, like I said, for maybe that wild card spot, given where they're at right now. But I think if the race is kind of over and you want to give a guy some NHL experience, some time, I think that's a guy you call up and you're like, all right, let's see what you could do at the NHL level.
Yeah.
Of course, you do want to, though, send him maybe back down for AHL playoffs and give Rockford a fighting chance there and not take Nick Lardis away from them. But yeah, like you said, I've really liked his game.
13 points, by the way, in 11 games.
Whew.
So pretty good. Point per player.
I'd say that's pretty good.
We'll take point per player all day, baby. Yeah.
Just like Connor Bedard, we'll take all day over Macklin Celebrini.
You are out of your mind.
Back to the Future night tonight against Milwaukee. That's pretty cool,
too.
The
DeLorean in the house.
Ooh, then the Ice Hogs will be on the road against the Iowa Wild on Sunday. Then it'll be a 7 p.m. home game against Manitoba on Wednesday. And then next Saturday, they'll host Manitoba again. It'll be Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. They knew what they were doing there. And then Hockey Fights Cancer Night on Saturday, November 15th. Sioux City Night as well. As for the Wolves, we'll have to get to a couple more games. They're at home against the Wild tonight, like you said. AEW and Adopt-A-Dog night. So love when they do that. But we'll get more sports here. We got basketball. The Bulls could be real, and the Windy City Bulls are starting tonight as well, per Nick Johnston. Myself, Mike Napolitano, and Dalton Cooper, on the rise, AM 1410.
Political party poopers got you down? Shake it off and join me, Dennis Sonar Green, every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN for A Political Talk Show, where we cut through the doom and gloom with a focus on America first, constitutional values, and a populist perspective that puts you, the citizen, at the center of the conversation. At WRMN, the talk of the town, we're not afraid to challenge the status quo and bring you the straight talk you need. Whether you're frustrated with the political establishment or looking for a clear, some nonsense analysis, this show has you covered. Tune in. Let's take on the issues together with a fresh, unfiltered approach. Catch us every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN, A Political Talk Show. WRMN, the talk of the town.
Elgin isn't just a city, it's a community built on connection, innovation, and opportunity. And at the heart of it all is the Elgin Chamber of Commerce. For over a century, the Elgin Chamber has helped local businesses grow, connecting entrepreneurs, advocating for progress, and inspiring the leaders of tomorrow. Whether you're a new business just starting out or an established company looking to expand, the Elgin Chamber is your partner for success. Join a powerful network of leaders making a difference in our community every day. Together, we're shaping the future of Elgin one connection at a time. Elgin Area Chamber of Commerce, where business and community grow together. Call now, 847-741-5660, or go to info@elginchamber.com. Contact Carol Gieske.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
They're simple, boring, never thought of until they're needed. They're windshield wipers. Only when Mary Anderson became annoyed that New York trolley drivers were stopping to wipe their windshield by hand did anybody do something about it. By attaching a spring-loaded arm to a rubber blade, one woman made travel easier and safer. Look to innovate and pass it on. From passiton.com.
Before the weather gets too cold, it's time to finish up those outdoor jobs. That's why ComEd wants you to know that electricity can jump from a power line to you and to the tools you're using. So maintain a safe distance from any power lines. You can also call ComEd at 1-800-EDISON-1 to have those power lines de-energized the next time you do any work around them. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives.
Welcome back to AM 1410 WRMN. You're listening to On the Rise. Myself, Mike Napolitano, Dalton Cooper, and Nick Johnston on the board. Just real quick to wrap up my last couple of notes there. We were talking about the Wolves being at home tonight for AEW and Adopt-A-Dog night. They're at home Sunday against Sophia Blackburn's Grand Rapids Griffins. You can watch on Fox Chicago Plus.
Leading the Central Division right now, too.
Leading the Central Division, so that'll be a huge matchup. And then Wednesday, they'll be on the road to take on the Admirals, who the Rockford Ice Hogs are taking on. And then next Saturday, it'll be at home again against the Cleveland Monsters. That is the AHL affiliate of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Mm-hmm. Your Columbus Blue Jackets. The SpongeBob movie night will be the themed night. Are they playing like the whole movie? Do they have time for that? I don't know. How that
probably
works.
like a Kane County situation where like the team might be wearing like a SpongeBob jersey.
I kind of like that. And real quick, I know we got to get into basketball here too, but as far as hockey goes, the Steel are underway as well. They're playing over here at Fox Valley Ice Arena for their final season. And we were just over there all summer watching a championship team in the Kane County Cougars. Right next door, we're watching a very new and kind of redefined Steel team that has been looking better as of late. And I think a lot of that has to do with two-time Stanley Cup champion at the helm behind the bench coaching Scott Gomez. Yeah. So we'll have to make it out to a couple of those games as well throughout this season.
Or I forget as well, Wolves' new practice facility just opened up as well. Am I wrong?
It did, yeah. That is adjacent to their stadium, adjacent to Allstate Arena right there, and it's a community ice arena, so the entire community, Rosemont and Chicagoland area, will get a chance to use it. I think they said 2 full ice sheets.
Yeah, I think I remember reading that.
Is it 2 or
I think it's 2.
2 or 3? I think it's 2, but yeah, that'll be really nice. But yeah, the Steel will eventually be moving to the Blackhawks practice arena, which is Fifth Third Arena next season. But you take a look at the Steel getting a huge win. They explode for 8 goals over Omaha in an 8-1 final. So Steel have been looking good, and we'll dive into them a little bit more when we have the time. But for now, we've got to talk basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls do not seem to be slowing down at any time here soon.
Someone needs to let Elizabeth know. That's all I know.
Yes. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming.
That's what I learned this week, is that somebody should let Elizabeth know.
I also learned that no one really knows what that reference is from.
Yeah,
anymore.
that we're all too young to know. Yeah.
I always thought it was his wife.
No,
but like
it's Sanford and Son. Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, it's from like an old TV show, right?
Sanford and Son.
Okay, yeah.
Sanford and Son. Nice.
Gotcha. Yeah, I should.
I think Nelly had a song where he's got lyrics about it. Yeah.
Oh, does he?
I only know anything from the 80s because of Family Guy. So
nice. Okay.
What a way to learn your 80s lore history. I should know better because we met Stacey King, myself, and our correspondent Tilo at an event, but I wasn't really about to ask him about why are you always calling out your wife on the broadcast?
No, that's how you should have asked him that question. That would have been
who's Elizabeth? Why are you calling her out?
I would just ask him how much fun is it calling a game with Adam and me? Because they just sound like they're having the best time at any point in time.
Especially when the Bulls are winning like they are now. Like I know it's been doom or gloom for a couple of years, or at the very best mid, and I say that with a capital MID because it's been a 500 team for how many straight years? Play in rounds. You know what's going to happen. You're going to get knocked out by the Heat. I mean, it's the same result. So this year looks different.
Maybe I'm looking through or listening through the realm of my Chicago rose-covered glasses. But when Adam Amin, you hear him in NFL games, everywhere else, but he sounds like he's having the most fun sitting next to Stacey King. Calling these Bulls. Again, it might be just a little bit biased, but it sounds like he's having the most fun in that time. It's awesome. It's a great time. The UC's rocking, especially when the Bulls are getting there.
The energy that Stacey King brings to a broadcast, I feel like you have no choice but to have fun when you're sitting next to him. So, and like we said,
you used to get Neil Funk getting up and going, jumping up and down, the old guy. So.
The Bulls, they've only lost 1 since we last spoke. Actually 2. Excuse me.
Yeah, they're 6-2 on the season.
Because that Knicks game did actually happen after we got off the mics last Saturday, but. Actually, that was that Sunday. 128-116 loss to the Knicks, so the Knicks did get their revenge. But the Bulls beat them in the game that mattered a little bit more when it was that group play for the NBA Cup.
Yeah,
they did lose an NBA Cup game. That was the other loss of the season. That was to the Bucks, 126-110. But wedged in between those two games was a 113-111 victory against the 76ers. So last night, a loss to the Bucks.
Vooch, man.
Or was it Giddey?
Oh, Giddey with the pass.
Giddey with the pass, but it was Vooch with that
3 in the corner.
That was the only 3 he made that whole game.
Yeah. I mean, it was their only lead for the last 3 seconds of the game.
It was what they needed to get the job done, though. They don't ask how, they ask how many. But actually, in this case, it's the other way around. So the Bulls sneak one away from the 76ers with just a couple seconds on the clock when the 76ers got the ball back and not a lot of time to do anything. So the Bulls got back into the win column. But as you said, 6-2, they did drop 2 games this past week after being an undefeated 5-0. But the reason why I'm saying are the Bulls are they real is because they're still in these games. They're still competing against these top-level teams like the Knicks, the Bucks as well. And, I mean, they were undefeated through 5. I mean, that's a small sample size, but you go a full 82 with the start like that, I think you put yourself in a really good position to make some noise.
I think if it keeps going the pace that they are, the actual pace they're leading in just how fast and how many shots are going up and stuff like that. This is a young team. I think I believe Stacey King brought it up a couple of games ago, very early on in the season, that if you took Vooch off this team, they then become the youngest team in the league. Yeah, based on average of age. So this is still a young, hungry team. And again, for any of those that are still on the side, you know, at this point, I'll think it's a win-win for that Caruso trade and Josh Giddey, because Josh Giddey is just lighting it up on fire. You got your ring in OKC with Caruso, fine, that's awesome. But 23 years old, just about short of averaging a triple-double. You caught lightning in a bottle right here in this kid, and I absolutely love it. And the only thing that I question, or again, I don't know if it's going to be negative or positive. I think it could be very much positive. I'm just overlooking it right now. But what to do when Kobe White gets back? Yeah, how do you get him back in that system? He's not a me guy. I need the ball,
right?
But you know, he's going to have, you know, he can blow out, he can average 20 points in any given time. So how do you substitute giving him those shots? Who loses those shots and opportunities? But as of right now, it's kind of just been like 20 points from this guy, 20 points from that guy, 20 from Ayo. You're probably going to get guaranteed 25 to 30 from Giddey and or Vooch, something like that. But it's been, like I said, Ayo coming off the bench. It's been very spread out. Kevin Herter is a guy now.
Yeah.
He's been a guy. He's been.
I remember when that trade happened, and we were all like, "Who is this guy?"
You didn't know who Kevin Herter is?
I mean,
the ginger man.
Yes, but like we were like, what is this going to do for them?
He's an assassin.
Now
he's a killer. He's been a killer.
I mean, it was just this idea by
Sacramento treated him
from AK to get these young guys, but that has still been in the league for 6-7 years. So they've had starting minutes. They've had moments that actually matter before. So they've been there, done that, and so far it's kind of playing out in the right way.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. Did this whole front office situation, did they play this perfectly to where they're going to be able to save their jobs? Because all of this is happening in the one season that the East is wide open.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of Giannis, the East is wide open. Yeah. Like, and we
don't
even know
if
Giannis
you could have planned it that way, but it's falling in line.
It looks like they did, though. That's what I was saying. Like, did they get like the luckiest break of all time? With obviously
sometimes.
Yeah,
okay.
I was going to say, does that? I thought about that the other day as I was driving. I can't remember where I was going, but yeah, I thought about that. I was like, did they just dumb luck their way into keeping their jobs for the next 10 years?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, if you have a course of action, you still keep planning attack, and you kind of just...
Because trade deadline, they're ready to run everybody out of town last year. Yeah. It's just insane.
Because like we said, it's early, but the Bulls are in second in the Eastern Conference, only a half game back from Detroit, who's played one more game. They're 7-2. Bulls are 6-2. The two losses that the Bulls suffered were to a 6-3 Milwaukee Bucks team and a 5-3 New York Knicks team, who they had already beat prior to that.
And that was Giannis going off for 40 last night, too. So
right. So there's that aspect to it. But the Bulls are still undefeated at home. I probably shouldn't have said that. I don't want to jinx things. But the only two teams that are sitting at a better record than better, not even, because there's a couple other teams in the West that are 6-2. That'd be the Spurs and the Denver Nuggets. But the only other teams other than Detroit that are sitting at a better record because they've played more games, the Lakers at 7-2. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are 9-1. Like, I mean, what can you do there? I mean, that's like you said, not probably going to be one of the worst Thunder teams that we see
last year
go to the finals. Yeah. So I mean, they're going to go on another dominational tear.
They're doing that all without Jalen Williams, by the way, who's their second best player.
Yeah, it's insane.
For this Bulls team, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but I think a downfall might be the amount of effort that they have to play defense with in order to stay competitive. Because you talk about them they like to play fast. Yeah. You know, they get up and down the floor pretty well. But sometimes they can have those streaks where the ball just doesn't go in the basket, and then the other team is putting the ball in the basket. Yeah. Because I think Billy Donovan talked about that the other night. He's like, we have to play physical. We have to play a full 48 minutes. We have to do this, that, and the other. So does that, again, I hate to keep bringing this up and beating a dead drum, but are they going to be the Cavs of last year to where they're going to be the working man's team in the regular season, and then they're going to have nothing left come April?
Well, I think you were talking about them going on runs or giving up runs within games. I think during the course of an 82-game season, with defense being an issue like that because of the pace that they play at, I think you're going to start to see those runs carry over into runs of games that they maybe lose in a row. And, maybe some people are going to start to hit the panic button a little bit. So I think Water will find its balance a little bit here with this Bulls team. I don't expect them to stay undefeated at home throughout the entire season. I don't expect them to stay playing. I don't expect them to stay playing 750 basketball the entire season. But can we just be a better than 500 team here in Chicago? Can this Bulls team finally not be just a play-in round team is what I kind of am expecting. But like you said, you don't want them to get to playoffs either and be, out of gas.
Yeah, they're doing what the Cubs did. They're getting way too hot too early.
Right. Well, ask Brandon Combs about that. I don't know if he agrees. But.
I think, again, the way that they're kind of playing, that there is some sustainability to this. Again, are they going to win every single game? No. Are they going to go wire to wire, being the number one seed in the East? No. But I think they're going to be good enough to be not a play-in team. They're going to be a little bit more beyond that.
Okay,
yeah,
I
think they can get that fifth seed.
And this is the year for it, like we keep talking about too. Like,
again, just mathematically, like they're better than the Wizards. They're going to be better than the Nets, the Pacers, the Hornets, and then probably like a team like the Magic or the Hawks. So bottom 4, bottom 5 right there. Celtics are also playing bad too. So it's just a matter of, can you beat the Heat, the Raptors, and again, like some team like the Hawks and the Magic, can you be better than them? I think they can be.
If they're shooting more than 40% from 3-point as a team, which they currently are, I mean, they're going to be tough to beat regardless of who they're playing.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes both ways. That's why they lost to the Knicks that second game, because the Knicks were shooting
everything
almost 60% from 3. Like they were going off, and Josh Giddey had to admit that. He's just like, there's nothing we can do, and they're just shooting hot. We can shoot 50%. If they're shooting 60%,
won't matter.
In these top 6 seeds right now, like I said, once again, I know it's early, but teams that I see being better than the Bulls, the Knicks should be there, but they're not, and the Bulls have beat them once already. They've split. Maybe Milwaukee. They always play a tough game, especially against the Bulls. Maybe Cleveland, but I mean, also maybe just for the fact that, like I said, Bulls will drop down to reality a little bit, so maybe they'll be a better team than the Bulls just by that measure. Detroit is already above the Bulls right now by half game just because of games played. I do see the Pistons being a powerhouse this year, but like you said, the East is wide open. You have the team that made it to the finals last year, injury-ridden and sitting at 1-7 in the Indiana Pacers. So they're not going to really boost up from there. Boston's injured. They're 4-6. Like you said, a lot of these teams that are on the outside looking in are probably going to stay there.
Jaylen Brown's more worried about leaving his mark with his hair than his performance on the court.
It's been a disaster.
So, I mean, really, can you be better than Philly and Miami is what it is for me, and the Bulls will have a top 6 spot in the East.
And the only thing for them is just like any other team, but if Philly would have to stay completely healthy, like a whole season of Embiid, which that's not going to happen.
It already isn't happening.
It definitely is Tyrese Maxey's team without a doubt.
100%.
It's slowly turning into that rookie's team as well. And Edgecombe, that's his last name?
I think so.
So, other question. If you're the Bulls, do you take a look at John Morant? Because he's very unhappy in Memphis right now.
Yeah. He's going to be all right in the West, though, Do
you think?
I think he's all right in the West. That's what he thinks.
That's what he thinks.
That's what he said.
I mean, he's obviously not happy where he's at.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
It's going to get to a point too, because the NBA cultural wise is going to allow that. Like, obviously it's a completely different culture, but it's going to get to the point where it's going to get really ugly, where he's going to probably start throwing shots, or somebody's going to take a shot at somebody, whether it's the organization or the player.
Let's be careful. He's had some.
Not literally.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna have a little bit of a media war. That's a better way to put it.
Go.
They're gonna have a reporter off, if you will.
Reporter off.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're the Bulls, do you look at something like? Do you look at adding a player of that caliber?
I'm not opposed to that. I mean, the one rumor I saw kind of flying around yesterday in my Bulls kind of circles and realms on online stuff was people clamoring for Lauri Markkanen to come back, and that's where I
out of Utah
come back to your point about defense. I'm like, that's kind of his big issue. Like,
right.
if are you worrying about defense and trying to keep up there? Let's not add basically a traffic cone. You can score a little bit here and there, but on defense, he's a trash. He's a
pylon.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a tomato can.
He's a pylon.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm out on John Morant. Just because you finally got this Bulls locker room to not be a me type of locker room. We were talking about it. And I think
that's a loud personality.
Even if John Morant doesn't want to bring that to a team, he's already engraved himself into being that. Like,
can't deny the talent.
Yeah, talent for sure. I'm not knocking him talent wise, but I just the headlines are going to follow, and I think that would spell disaster for a locker room.
Yeah, a lot of gun laws in Chicago.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah,
that probably wouldn't work out well.
Yeah, and having him and all the headlines that we finally kind of put to bed about Josh Giddey already. So can you just imagine the backlash that Chicago would get if they had both of those guys on the same team?
That's a good point. I
don't know if I feel comfortable with that.
That's also that's a very good point. Very good point. So just like I said, I remember seeing, I think it was yesterday, like I was just watching a report or watching like an interview with John Moran, and they were talking about, like, are they going to move this guy? Where's he going to go? X, Y, and Z.
Bring a new meaning to the Windy City Assassin.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Lord.
Man. Speaking of...
on that note, you said Windy City. The Windy City Bulls, the G League affiliate of the Chicago Bulls, they start up tonight. That is their season opener and home opener. They're starting it off at home at the Now Arena in Hoffman Estates against the Wisconsin Herd.
Yes, the Zealous bobblehead giveaway, first 1,500. Get in there. Free stuff.
Are you doing production tonight?
Yeah, I'll either be doing camera. I'm on camera tonight.
Nice.
Baseline, or you don't know yet?
Might be base. It's gonna be up to whatever my guy Jeff wants to do. I'm gonna give him the option if he wants to do baseline.
Does Jeff have seniority?
Somewhat, a little bit.
Okay.
I just want to be respectful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, give him the option. I don't mind either way.
So do you? But you didn't answer my question.
I'll either do main game cam or I'll be on the baseline.
Who has seniority though?
Whoever graduated the program first.
Do you know? Also, you guys have been there the same amount of time.
No, yeah. If it's like the same amount of time, I'll take the realm.
Fascinating. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, okay.
It kind of depends.
You know, you're a nice guy, Nick. I don't care what Mike says about you.
What?
You're a nice guy, man.
Hey now,
throw me under the bus. The Wisconsin Herd are the Bucks G League affiliate, so that'll be a little bit of a rivalry going into tonight. And then these two teams face off at Oshkosh Arena in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. At 6 p.m. on Tuesday, November. Did I say tonight was a 7 p.m. tip-off? I meant to say that.
Is there anybody to watch, by the way?
The second round pick or Akuro. That's his last name. I'm gonna try.
Because I know Noah is on the Bulls roster, even though he doesn't play.
Yeah, he might be bouncing back and forth. I'm sure.
I was gonna say that was yeah. If he was gonna
we
bounce.
interviewed Trenton Flowers. He was class act. He was nice to talk to.
Okay.
Kevin Knox, former New York Knick. He's gonna be on the squad this year as well. We actually love to talk to him again. Same thing, kind of that idea of like, you've been around Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah.
He's got a couple other big names coaching wise. So it was really nice to.
Didn't he go to Kentucky?
Yes. Yes. He
okay.
Did. Yeah. So again, kind of like that same thing. Like even in college realm, like he's been around some amazing coaches.
Had to go from UK to New York. That had to be
really
fascinating.
Fun to pick his brain and talk to him about that. But Lackland Ulbrich, that was the second round pick for the Bulls.
Okay.
I'm sure that he'll be getting in there as well. So. It would be nice to see, again, all these young talent. Again, probably throughout the year, you're probably going to get Noah Essengay come on down, so that'll always be good and fun. But, yeah, these, again, one returning player.
I was just about to say, is it me? Player. I'm looking at this roster.
Where do they play? Where do you guys play at?
Yeah.
Hoffman Estates, the Now Arena.
Now
Arena, yes. Okay.
I was just about to say, I bring up that point, is I don't see any names that look familiar from last year. Is this Ruben Nemard? Is he related to... what's it?
Andrew?
Andrew Nemard?
No.
Yeah, no.
Andrew, I think the Nemard that you're thinking of. No. Is that Andrew Nemard? Is that his name?
That is, I believe that is his name, but I do not believe.
But no, not related.
No relation.
Wow. Yeah, one returning player basically. That shows something that I know we've kind of dogged on the Bulls organization as a whole for the moves that they've made, or maybe lack thereof, or trading players or picks for cash when you really need those picks because you're a 500 team and you need to really turn this organization around. And now we're seeing this organization kind of turned around, and you even see it down at the G League level where they kind of clean house, and they said, all right, bring all these new guys in and let's go.
Yeah.
So
what was Nemard's?
All very young.
Ruben.
Okay. Ruben.
I was gonna say there is a
Andrew
brother of Andrew Nemard, and it's Ryan. He plays in Dallas. That's why I was curious.
Oh, gotcha.
When we were doing media day, I didn't have the chance, but I would love to have asked Billy Donovan Jr. just a simple question of like, how do you like to balance? Just, you obviously need to perform as the head coach. You need to have these guys playing well, maybe even getting wins here and there, but exactly that. What's the focus? Is it just having them develop so they can become almost two-way players, kind of just deal with what you got, or is it also frustrating having to see a bunch of fresh faces every single year, almost every single week sometimes, because it's gonna be a lot of roster movement. So again, I wasn't able to have the chance to, but if I do, that's gonna be my first question for sure.
Did you say he's a junior? It's
Billy Donovan Jr.
Billy Donovan Jr.
Yes.
Is that actually?
That's the head coach. Yes.
Wow.
BDJ.
Did not realize that.
Sometimes Billy Donovan will be at the games, but he has already kind of told us like, hey, don't put me on camera. I don't really want the attention, because it's a little bit of a mixture of like, one, he just wants to watch his son. He's there to watch the son, support the team, watch the team.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, no reason to be here.
He's kind of wearing many hats in that aspect then, because you want to see your son succeed, but you also want to be the guy above your son or above the other coach in the organization. So you're not only are you coaching him to be a better coach, but you're coaching him, hey, this is what we want as an organization. So and then just, of course, see what the talent level is.
You don't want to crap
up.
where you eat,
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Also, and I feel like that's always just the goal when it comes to just G League or just Windy City as a whole. Like, wins are great, yes, but it's really, truly is the development of these players. All these guys have the same mindset of, we all might just be playing for the first time together, but they know the goal. It's to get wins. It's for them to improve and for them to eventually get back into the actual show, to get back into the league.
No, 100%. I had a bonus Mamma Mia for you. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can partake in this. What provider do you have for your services?
For phone?
No, for your to watch television at home.
I have Xfinity.
I got Xfinity.
Yeah, I have not cut the cord.
What do you have?
So we just got one of those VC boxes, the black boxes or whatever they are. Because
does it work?
We had YouTube TV before.
Oh, you had YouTube. Well, I've got it right now.
Yeah.
And you know what? I can't watch
CHSN.
I don't even care about that. I can't watch ESPN, Michael.
Yeah, I heard the
Mamma Mia. We have billionaires arguing over these stupid things. I just want to watch sports. I literally just want to watch sports. I can't even do that. I told you I watched a movie last night. I was like, I'll check some of the scores. I can't even. I couldn't even watch Monday Night Football.
I could be wrong.
Couldn't even watch it.
Yep.
I could be wrong, but I heard that was more of a blunder on ESPN's part.
Yeah,
figure it out.
They want everyone to sign up for this ESPN extra subscription or whatever.
They have a $30 a month app, and it stinks. Yeah. It stinks. I can't even stand it. It makes me so mad.
I know you want it more probably for like college football stuff, but for what it's worth, this is probably the last Monday Night Football game that's actually worth it.
Yeah,
but
still.
The other ones I know, I get it.
It's
a moral.
You, of all people, I figured would appreciate somebody who would gamble on a game that no one cares about.
That's fair.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
That was my 401k pick of the week last week was the Arizona Cardinals.
401k pick of the week.
That is, if you listen. Yeah, I have one of those every week.
Yeah.
401k.
Listen,
Mamma Mia. Figure it out. I just want to watch sports. So why is it so much to ask?
I bring this up every time that we talk about ESPN. We have some great friends at ESPN Chicago, ESPN 1000, and I think there are some great people in ESPN as a whole. But ESPN as a whole, what are we doing?
Figure it out. Actually,
what are we doing?
It's probably Disney, technically, right? Because Disney owns everything.
It is technically. But they prioritize.
Figure it out.
They prioritize football and basketball when the World Series is going on. You bring in hockey, and they don't really do a great job with that.
That's not bad.
It's not great.
No, their app, like I said, their app kind of
But we're talking about, is Joel Embiid going to be healthy when the World Series is going on with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in there?
Kind of on pace. They've covered more WWE than hockey this year. So
honestly, yeah. So, I mean, ESPN, what are we doing? And then the football that you do cover, we can't even watch it.
Yeah.
Wow. Great job.
Stinks.
That'll do it for us here. Myself, Mike Napolitano, Nick Johnston on the board. Thank you very much. And then Dalton Cooper, as always. We'll see you next week for another edition of On the Rise.
Love you guys.
Systems run everything. Government, economy, media, justice. They shape your choices, your opportunities, your future. But do they work for you or against you? On a political talk show,